Ready. Welcome everyone to the Municipality Tweed Council meeting, October 28th. We always begin our meetings with our land acknowledgement. The Municipality of Tweed recognizes that our work takes place on traditional Indigenous territories, including the Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. We recognize and respect the history, languages, and cultures of the First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all Indigenous peoples whose presence continues to enrich our communities. Miigwech. Now, please join us in the singing of O Canada. True and true. Our sweet the rocks, the true, the strong and free. We stand on guard for thee. You are sweet. We are so free. We stand on Thank you. I'm calling the meeting to order, Lori. 6:04. Could I have a mover and a seconder for the approval of our regular meeting agenda for today, please? Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on said agenda? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. May I have a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the minutes from our October 14th, 2025 meeting, please? Mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any question on said minutes? Oh, yes, please go ahead.
What's here? There was an error on. Actually, it was my notes on motion. It was a recorded vote, and the vote count wasn't recorded in the minutes. On that,
It was recorded, yeah.
6.1
I can correct.
and the vote, yeah, and the results of that, please. Thank you.
Any other comments? So you'll just,
I'll correct it.
do we approve them again then at the next meeting? Or do we just say it's approved now with that?
Approved with the amendment.
Okay, approved.
Unless you want me to bring them back, I can.
No, as long as you send them to us, but we'll approve it with amendment, okay? All in favor? Thank you. There will be a closed meeting this evening. Council will hold a closed meeting during the regular council meeting pursuant to section 3392 of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 C25 as amended to consider the following matters. B, personal matters about an identified individual, including municipal or local board employees, Hamlet Committee spending, and labor relations or employee negotiations, treasurer position. My remarks. First of all, I would like to begin by wishing happy birthday to Councillor Jim Fleeler and a very happy 39th anniversary to Councillor Peter and Tanya Valiquette. Also, I'd like to extend congratulations to the Land Lakes Learning Club on their 60th anniversary. On October 16th, I attended the Central Hastings Support Network Transit meeting. I'm pleased to report that we are in a much better place financially than we were at this time last year. Victoria Treverton, Executive Director for CHSN, will be providing us with an update at our November 13th council meeting. At that meeting, I was surprised to learn that 2 weeks early, MPP Breezy, while attending a regional chamber of commerce meeting at Potter Settlement Vineyard, had noted that the province was soliciting feedback from rural businesses about issues facing rural communities. I later checked with several of my fellow Hastings County mayors to see if they had been approached for input. All were just as surprised as I was. We will contact MPP Breezy to ensure that we have an opportunity to contribute to this rural issues intake. I also suggest that we invite him to attend one of our council meetings. This was almost a month ago that this has happened now, and we still haven't heard about this. On October 17th, I was joined by Deputy Mayor Demarche and Councillor Valiquette for the official grand opening of Tweed Tire. On the 18th, Councillor Valiquette and I brought best wishes from council on the celebration of the Land O'Lakes Curling Club 60th anniversary. On October 21st, Councillor Valiquette and I attended the Gateway Community Health Centre open house. It was a wonderful event, and we were given a guided tour by Executive Director Mayo Hocko, who shared the new strategic plan and priorities built around the theme, be well, get well, stay well. I've asked Mayo to share this vision with council at our January meeting. On October 22nd, I chaired the Hastings County Planning and Development Committee meeting, followed by the County Finance, Property and Personnel meeting. That afternoon, I had the honor of addressing and welcoming those gathered for Rural Hospice Day, hosted by our Heart of Hastings Hospice at Stokoe Lake Lodge. There were well over 100 in attendance. A couple of paragraphs from that speech which express our collective gratitude for hospice workers are: our Tweed community spirit can be found at every part of life here. From the dedication of our service clubs and community groups to the creativity of our artists, and then the smiles that greet you at our local shops. That same spirit of caring and connection is exactly what hospice workers embodies. Hospice care is not about ending so much as it is about honoring the fullness of life. It is also an easing of the physical burden at the end of life. It's about preserving dignity, nurturing peace, and surrounding both the individual and their loved ones with comfort and understanding. It reminds us that even in the most difficult times, compassion can bring light. Our Heart of Hastings Hospice, right here in Central Hastings, stands as a beacon of that light, a living example of compassion. The commitment to supporting families through some of life's most profound transitions reflects the very best of who we are as a region. They remind us that community isn't just where we live, it's how we care for one another. Their staff and volunteers offer more than medical care. They offer presence. They listen, they hold hands, they walk alongside families when the path feels uncertain, and in doing so, that we are never truly alone. After my address, I made my way to the Food for All Committee. On the 23rd, Chuck and I enjoyed the St. Arthur's chili dinner. On the 24th, Deputy Mayor Demarche, CAO Diskey, Lucas Wales, and I met with the resident to discuss some longstanding issues. On October 25th, I had the privilege of addressing and welcoming regional horticulture societies to a meeting held at Hungerford Hall. Again, I'd like to share a couple of paragraphs from that speech. Which brings me to our Tweed Horticultural Society. Every park you see in the village bears their touch. Memorial Park, Moira Park, Victoria Park, McCammon Park, and the library, the gardens that greet you as you enter the village. Dedicated volunteers also tend to the community gardens at St. Andrew's Church, ensuring that those facing food insecurity have access to fresh homegrown produce. And lately, the Society has even turned its care towards the gardens of our Tweed and Area Heritage Centre. A touching tribute following the passing of our dear friend Evan Morton, its longtime curator and passionate gardener. Council and the residents of Tweed are deeply grateful for this tireless work of our community's green-thumbed volunteers. I honestly don't know what we would do without you. In fact, what any municipality would do without the beauty, creativity, and dedication of horticultural societies like yours. Thank you for your green thumbs, your cracked fingers, your sun-browned faces, and your creative eyes, because without you, our town and villages would simply not be the same. Both speeches will be posted alongside my mayor's remarks on our website. On October 23rd, I sent the following text to Premier Ford. This was the only way that they said that I could contact him. So, good afternoon, Premier Ford. Earlier this year in March, I sent 2 proposals to your attention, followed by a letter in July. They are titled Proposal to Support Small Rural and Northern Housing Developers and Repatriation of OPP Costs for Small Rural and Northern Communities during this period of uncertainty. Both present an opportunity for the province to partner with small rural Ontario while helping address both the housing crisis and the pressures on rural infrastructure. I would welcome the opportunity to speak or meet with you to discuss the merits of both proposals. Wishing you a wonderful day, Mayor Don DiGenova, Municipality of Tweed. I remain hopeful that I will hear from Premier Ford or from someone acting on his behalf. I've also asked CEO Diskey to contact MPP Breezy to inquire about the status of our funding request under the Housing Enabling Water Systems Fund. This latest intake was not tied to housing development, but focused on funding water protection systems. As an aside, I was pleased to see that Ontario recently is investing another 14.9 million in Quinte infrastructure. 7.2 million for Quinte West, 6.2 million for Belleville, 1.4 million for Prince Edward County. The article is also attached in our council package. I also want to thank Minister Parsa, Minister of Children, Community and Social Services, for responding to my letter of inquiry related to student food insecurity dated September 2nd. We appreciate all efforts. We appreciate all efforts of the provincial and federal governments to address student food insecurity during the school year, which is September to June. However, I remain concerned about the lack of programming and opportunities for students during July and August. Young people still need to eat. That was the critical focus of my letter. Unfortunately, there was no forthcoming assistance, so our Food for All committee will continue exploring innovative ways to address youth food insecurity within our means. I'd also like to draw your attention to the Roma update included in our council package. The statistics are deeply concerning. Roma notes, the board is working with AMO's policy team to develop a rural infrastructure strategy. Data shows that rural municipalities face unique infrastructure challenges. We've been most vocal about that. For example, rural Ontario municipalities own and operate about 153 billion in public infrastructure, yet have the fewest financial resources and tools to fund these critical needs. Another point, rural municipalities have 17% of Ontario's population, but are responsible for 31% of all roads, bridges, and tunnels assets by value. And lastly, provincial and federal governments contribute only about 30% in annual and municipal infrastructure funding. We've been quite clear that we have been struggling since we have been a council. In closing, I'm grateful to be working with this team. We each bring our own life experiences, wisdom, and desire to make a difference in our community. We all care deeply and are passionate about ensuring that the best interests of the municipality are always front and center. We don't always agree, and that's a good thing. It means we bring different perspectives. But our shared desire to serve the residents of this municipality is unwavering. Each person sitting at this table is here because they want nothing but the best for our community. And of course, we couldn't do it without our amazing staff. We will now be playing a video created by Brock Kirby commemorating the war heroes whose banners were unveiled at the Veterans Banner Gala night. It's a moving tribute that touches the heart. Well done, Brock. We hope to see you at our Remembrance Day ceremony on November 11th. Peace be with you during these tumultuous times, and I hope you have many opportunities to enjoy this amazing fall weather. Okay, Lucas.
All right. This works.
Down with this.
Okay.
You started again, Lucas. Use your full screen. Thank you again, Brock. Beautiful testament. Now, Pat, was it 17 that we added this year?
18.
18. Municipality Tweed added 18 banners to our collection. We had
10 last year.
so now we're to 28. And I just want to let everybody know, if you have a veteran or someone in your family that's been involved with the military, you can have a banner. You don't have to be from Tweed. It's just commemorating anybody who has served, and the steamship is now arrived. Anyway, so yes, please reach out to the Legion and they can walk you through the process. And anyway, you will have seen, no doubt, the beautiful flags of commemoration throughout our municipality and throughout Memorial Park. Very grateful to have Legion members with us here today, because now we're going to do getting ready for Remembrance Day. They've started this particular program where they pin a poppy on the mayor, the first poppy, and then following me, they will do it with all members of council. Right? Okay, let's move up to the front.
Here?
Yeah, stand right in front of the camera.
Oh.
Movie stars.
Camera.
Right there, little one there. Okay, so you come both sides of me here.
Oh, right.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So we're gonna pin the first copy.
Yes.
Who's gonna,
I am.
oh, you
I
are,
am.
okay.
Yes, I am. Our president sends his apologies. He's working tonight. Because normally he would do this.
So much.
You're welcome.
Now-
Look this way for your picture.
Oh.
And the deputy mayor, would you like to come up?
Oh, do I pin it on? Yeah.
Anywhere.
You're welcome.
Picture.
And then, Councilor Fleeler?
Words it behind. Just put it on. It's fine.
Yeah, we're.
You're home?
Just got your, yeah.
Isn't that hard?
Oh, it was right through.
Thank you.
Okay, together.
Thank you.
Okay. Peter? Stay up there. Good.
Okay.
I broke my bone. Okay. Okay, Robert, stay. Right back up.
And everyone together, Mayor?
Yes, and I'm sorry, you might as well come up with us. You come too, even though Councilor Palmetier isn't here. Okay, we'll leave his copy here, but we'll all get together in a big group. Hold on, come on. Right, that's right, that's right. We can all squeeze around.
I'm told.
You got it, yeah.
Right in. Everybody good?
Those are the angle hat, yeah. Sorry, did I step on your toes?
Way to be said. That's
There you
perfect.
go.
Yeah.
There we
we
go.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So enjoy this.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're not allowed to wear our poppies until Friday.
That's right.
That's when the poppy casting officially starts. And
So we shouldn't either.
no,
Like,
you're allowed. Yes.
And our provincial president is going to be at Sunnybrook Hospital at the Veterans on Thursday.
Oh, very nice. Wonderful. And so we'll see you all on the 11th.
Yes. Thank you.
No,
That's true.
I have a surgeon's appointment.
Well, my house are almost over.
You take care. You're set. That's right.
Yeah, the girls today were saying nice. Oh, no, listening to that.
I know, I
They
did.
make grow a handle my mustache.
Because I'm Thank you very much.
I see they call this.
Thank you so much.
No.
Oh, did he?
Sorry about the phone call.
Safest room.
Thank you, take care.
Fits the feet. You don't want to take.
Thank you very much, thank you.
See you, Jill.
Thank you.
Take care. Give me that.
Thank you.
And it's not appropriate to take a recommendation.
Thank you.
No, no, you said.
It's just.
Oh, we're getting over so time.
Unless we want to all the stats still, maybe.
Okay, now move right along. Okay, could I have a mover and a seconder to table the CAO update October 20th, 2025. Thank you, Councilor Ellicott. Thank you, Councilor Marsh. Any, over to you, Ron.
Thank you, and through the chair, just a few updates.
The final application for the municipal ice storm assistance program has been submitted to the province. That is to cover some of our costs from our storm in March of this year. Number two, Quinte Conservation through correspondence on October 20th has indicated that we are still at a level 3 low water condition. So that'll probably remain for a little bit longer. And number three, the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks has inspected the Tweed drinking water system and given the system an inspection rating of 100%. So that's good news. A few last minute additions here. Derek Little, our fire chief, is not here, but I just learned today that he has achieved his 30-year service medal. So congratulations to Derek, even though he's not here. If you see him, you can reach out and congratulate him. And just following up on the mayor's comments, I finally got a hold of NPP Breesy's office today. And there are no updates on our water grant. So I was hoping we'd hear by today. Today was the deadline, 28th, but according to excuse me, Rita in the office, they haven't heard anything either.
So are they gonna inquire?
She said she would get back to me and she would inquire, yes.
Can we do a little certificate for Derek commemorating his 30-year service? Lucas, thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Mayor, just going with that, with along with Derek, we used to do special milestones for the fire department. I'd kind of like to see that come back, 5, 10, 15, 20-year service. I'd kind of like to see that come back to us, that we did that for quite a number of years, and it's pretty special to get to meet that department and recognize from council that we appreciate what they do, because they're kind of one of those departments that we never see or hear until you meet them, right? So I think it's something we should look at again.
I have no problem with that. I'd also like to, do we do anything like that for staff? I mean, in county, they do all the time, they're all this calling people. So let's
Agree with that.
yeah. So, yes, go ahead, Lori.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, we do have a recognition policy for staff when they achieve special dates and milestones. Thanks.
So let's mirror the same thing if we can with the volunteer fire department, that would be great. Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Sorry, just gonna pull that back up. Be it resolved that council receive the CAO update report for information. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table the regular council meeting schedule revised, please? A mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councilor Valiquette, and thank you, Deputy Mayor DeMarche. Over to you, CAO Diskey.
Yeah, through the chair, on October 14th, we brought forward a schedule for the 2026 year, the council schedule. There's some feedback we received from council. Number one was to ensure the months where there's a single council meeting, that it was an evening meeting. Ensure that the new council meeting schedule does not have an adverse impact on the planning activities within the municipality. And finally, we adjusted a little bit for the months of October and November due to the municipal election in 2026, which will occur on October 26th. So the schedule has been updated and there for your review. The majority of the meetings are in the evening with a few changes to the dates just to spread them out a little bit more. Thank you.
Any questions on that schedule? Yes.
Your worship, sorry, could I go back to the previous topic? I sent CAO Diskey a note from the young lady that I met at the Good Roads. Could we, you and I chat about that and maybe get something in play? She gave us some suggestions how that we might be able to access funding. Did we do that?
By all means, yeah, just sure, reach out to.
Okay.
To CAO Diskey, yeah,
Okay, thanks.
this is good roads, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Sorry, any questions on the schedule? Seeing none. Be it resolved that council received the 2026 regular council meeting schedule revised report as presented, and further the council approve the recommendations in this report and adopt a 3-week council meeting rotation annually and the 2026 regular council meeting schedule as presented. And further, that council directs staff to bring forward an amendment to procedural bylaw 2023-13 as amended to reflect the changes of future council meeting dates as set out in this report. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table the consideration? Oops, it's got kicked out. Can you just read that, what it is there, the move and seconder, will I get back on?
Okay. Back here. Did I get a mover and a seconder to table the consideration for the water tower and generator? Councillor Lear, Councillor Bellacqua. Brian, you want to kind of elaborate on this one, please?
Okay, back in, thank you.
Through the chair to council, so at our budget process last year, we had got some budget numbers from Aqua, and one was to install a new generator over at the water tower. At this point, we had an emergency situation where we had to repair one of our generators at the pumping station. So at this time, we're asking to reallocate that money for the generator install at the water tower to cover the expenditure of the repairs of the generator at the pumping station. If you'd like a more technical analysis, we could probably have Aqua speak to it as well.
Fine.
Okay.
Was this part of our application as well with the, not with the ministry?
No, it wasn't, not this piece.
Okay. So any questions on that? Yes, please go ahead, Deputy.
So through the mayor, was that generator a part of our application or not?
Through the chair, this wasn't part of the application. This is a separate thing for the water treatment plant. This is for the pumping station that we had to make the repair.
Okay, so yeah, this wasn't, the generator wasn't ever in there then.
Okay.
No.
Yes, Councillor Wheeler.
Your worship, so, we budgeted, for this generator 15,000,
Yes.
and we had to use the money for the repairs. So what you're looking for is the money that was allocated for the repairs, we reimburse this, budget line?
The money, sorry, through the chair, through the budget process, we had put 15,000 aside to put a new generator up at our water tower.
Yeah.
And this would also help the fire department with communication
Yeah.
issues if there was a power outage.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking here is to take the money we had budgeted for the new generator and reallocate it to cover the cost of the repair at the generator station on Jameson Street.
Okay, I'm still a little fuzzy on that, but we still wanna buy the new generator as well.
Still, yes, we do still need a new generator.
Through the chair, correct. We do need a generator, but at this point, it's a good option just to reallocate the money. So we're not over budget on one or the other, and then we can bring it forward again next year.
One more question.
Yes, please go ahead.
So Ryan, we'll have about $6,000 left on that budget line to allocate towards the new generator in the next budget cycle. Is that correct?
Through the chair, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none. Be it resolved that council receive the consideration for water tower generator report as presented, and further the council directs staff to reallocate funds to offset the cost of the emergency repair and to defer the installation of the new generator at the water tower until 2026. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a movement and a seconder to for the request for contract renewal with Aqua? I don't even have that showing up on my screen. Oh, there we are. Well, there's that. Thank, no. Okay, could I have a moment? Thank you, Councillor Twill. Thank you, Councillor Valley. Okay, any questions? Oh, just got kicked out again.
What's it do when it kicks you out? Is
It
it
just shuts right down.
the app crashing?
Yeah. I wasn't doing that when I was reviewing my stuff. Go ahead. Any questions on the Aqua contract?
Me personally, I have no questions. I'd like to get Amy just to speak to it, just a brief overview of what this contract entails, and then she can kind of give, a description of it.
I think we've been very happy with the service we've had from Aqua over the many years, and so especially in working with Amber and Derek. Okay, it'd be wonderful to hear the overview and, sorry, please go ahead, Emmy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for receiving us tonight. We're really proud of the relationship that we have with the municipality of Tweed and are pleased to be here tonight to ask to extend that partnership for another 10-year term. So just to go over a couple of the requests, we are looking for another 10-year term. We're in one right now. However, we want to reword it so we do a 7 + 3-year term. So we have an opportunity to sit down at the end of year 7 and then go and discuss any issues that may be happening. Just because 10 years is really a long time in the grand scheme of things. So that's just one change. In terms of the price, we are just increasing the 2025 price by 2%, which is CPI. And then we've also added an additional $4,000 for the operations management of the stormwater system. If you recall, we were here earlier this year. That's a new requirement from the MECP, and we were under just capital billing, managing the program. So based on our experiences over the year, we feel we're comfortable with coming in with a request for $4,000 on top of what you're paying right now for the stormwater system, which is new. So that does bring the 2026 price to $328,315. The only other change was in the last 10-year agreement, we did have a 1.5% fixed annual adjustment. And after everything that happened during COVID and the extreme price increases that we've seen, I can't offer a fixed rate anymore. So we are asking that we go with CPI year over year as the annual adjustment.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of any? Yes, go ahead.
I'm
Councillor.
just curious, if you excluded the COVID years, what would the last 10 years have looked like if we use a CPI as opposed to 1.5?
Yeah, actually, I've done that for a couple of other clients and it was around 2% per year. So you did have a really good deal at the 1.5%. I want to give a lot of kudos to the team that you have here because they've really done a great job of maintaining your costs even across the years. So we weren't greatly affected. I've had to go to some clients and ask for 30 and 40% increases. So I'm really happy with the job that the team here has done. But yes, for those other clients, CPI was around 1.9 to 2% over that period.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm gonna have to get you to read it.
Oh, okay.
The system keeps crashing.
Well, thanks, Amy. I think we can, we'll just put her out here and, be it resolved that council received a request for contract renewal with Aqua, report as presented. And further, that council directs staff to renew the contract with Ontario Clean Water Agency, Aqua, execute the service agreement as presented and implement budget changes for 2026. All in favor? Carried. You still there?
I'm good here now. It's okay. We have a mover and a seconder to table the Tweed elevated tower report, please. A mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Wheeler. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Over to you, Ryan. This is.
Through the chair, I'm gonna let Amber speak to this a little bit more. She was a little more involved with the tower inspection than I was. She can give a good overview of it.
Well, Amber, one of the things that we were hoping was that you were gonna put a camera down there and maybe we could do touch-ups. Obviously, that's not the case.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to say that it would be an option for sure, but at the same time, the prep work is what's the most cost for the tower. You can't go in, it'd have to be drained. And then when it would also have to be, shoot, I've lost the train of thought.
Yeah.
When they sand it down, sorry,
Sandblast?
sandblasting, thank you, yes, they'd have to sandblast it, clean it, and then it would have, I think, approximately 3 or 4 coats, even if it was just spot weld, so you're still looking at downtime of about 7 to 10 days. And if you're gonna be down that long, you might as well just do the entire tower, because you'd have to do it again later. It's also a risky business, not in the sense that we fear it, but during the time that the tower's down, the plant has to run 24/7. And there's always chances of a thunderstorm or something with the generator, even when the generator kicks on. It's downtime on the water plant, so I think the less that you'd have to run 24/7 on a water plant, the better. But I will look into it. I was speaking with the CAO and Ryan and. There are other aqua sites that do water tower cleaning and I'll see if they've had any success with just partial recording
What are we looking at
for cost.
roughly?
I would say, we had this redone and I think it was around 300, maybe 340.
Yeah, this is something that I hope the province will come forward with. When you consider that, I think, was it Bancroft got almost 5 million for a new water tower, and then Center Hastings just received a chunk of money for their water tower as well. So if we're only looking at 300, well, say 400, 500,000, hopefully these were multi-million dollars. Hopefully we can get some funding to help us with that. Now I see that we're putting this off until we don't have to do it right away, but it's gonna have to be done within the recess years.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, this, the tower was inspected in 2020. And they noticed some issues then. We can't find any record of it being recoded from the original. So it's been wear and tear over time.
Also, when we had it painted, was it just the outside?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So 600.
Sorry, yeah, correction, it was 650.
Oh gosh, okay. Okay, so anyway, what's before us is it's something that we need to do. It's not imminent. We probably can get away with not doing it next year, but we really would like to if we could get funding to do it. And but if not the year after for sure, but we can get funding. Okay, any other questions of Amber?
I could say, when I was talking to the gentleman and getting the final report, he did say, I would say to the municipality, this is a typical water storage tank, which needs recoding. It does not appear to have any severe issues which require immediate attention, but it should be looked at and doing within the coming years.
So we're a good set, just to make sure that the public's not worried or anything out there, yes. Okay. We need to stay on top of it.
For sure, I think that within a year or two would be best.
Okay, thank you. Lucas, how do you say expand? Lucas is gone. Now go ahead, read the here we are. Be it resolved that council received the Tweed elevated report as presented, and further that council direct staff to include the recoding of the water tower in the 10-year capital budget. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder for the resolution for Connecting Links program application, please? Mover and a second. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Over to you, Ryan.
So basically the purpose of this report is just have council endorse this funding application we're gonna put forward. This is essentially to upgrade some of our systems. The systems are getting a little older on our traffic lights. The boxes are outdated. The audible pedestrian crosswalk buttons, they're not really compatible with what we have now with the new ones. Just for an example, I'm sure everyone's heard about what kind of happened over in Marmora with their traffic lights going down for a little bit. Ours are basically the same system as theirs, and right now we want to kind of be proactive about this application so we can get it done while there's still funding available.
Anybody have any questions? Yes, please go
To
ahead.
the mayor, to manager of public works, is there any opportunities, Ryan, to apply for funding for new pedestrian crossings like the one here in Metcalf and there's a couple others, like to the new style that we have, those are really effective.
Through the chair, there is opportunity to do something like that, but they have to be on our connecting link. So whether we add new ones would kind of be the only option for that. Right now, this funding is only for our 2.2 kilometers that run through 37. So we would have to look at the infrastructure that's within that corridor for the funding.
Thank you.
Yes, Councillor Flair.
Your worship, I do appreciate the fact that we need an upgrade, but we need to be careful, we're a little tight for money, and if this does go through and we get a grant, we're only gonna be on the hook for 15,000.
Through the chair, that's correct. We'd only be responsible for 10% of the total cost.
Any other questions? Seeing none, be it resolved that council received the resolution for Connecting Links program application report as presented. And further, the council endorse the application for the Connecting Link funding program valued at approximately 150,000 to replace 2 control cabinets at 16 pedestrian crossing buttons. Thank you very much. Bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Buttons at the intersection of Victoria Street and Jameson Street and Victoria Street and Bridge Street. And further, that 2026 pre-budget approval be approved in an amount of 15,000 to fund the municipality's share of this project. All in favor? Thank you. Moving on to bylaws, could I have a move in a second to the table? Bylaw number 2025-88, a bylaw to constitute and appoint a committee of adjustment planning for the municipality of Tweed and to repeal bylaw number 2023-14. Move in a second, please. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Any questions on said bylaw? Seeing none, be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-88 to constitute and appoint a committee of adjustment planning for the municipality of Tweed be read a first, second, third, and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 28th day of October 2025. All in favor? Thank you. Sticking with mine right now, Lucas, to see if it keeps going, okay? Can I move into second to table bylaw number 2025-89, a bylaw to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw 2012-30 as amended that 2020 Cottage Lane. I'll move it in a seconder, please. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on that bylaw? Seeing none, be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-89 to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw number 2012-30 for 220 Cottage Lane be read a first, second, third, and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 20th day of October 2025. All in favor? Thank you. I have a mover and a seconder to table bylaw number 2025-90, bylaw to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw 2012-30 as amended 121 Vardy Road. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Any questions on said bylaw? Seeing none, be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-90 to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw number 2012-30 as amended 121 Vardy Road be read a first, second, and third and final time, passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 20th day of October 2025. All in favor? Thank you. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table bylaw number 2025-91, a bylaw to change the composition of council for the municipality of Tweed? A mover and a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Could I have a seconder, please? Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Okay, any questions on this? This is the bylaw to change the composition council for the municipality of Tweed. Okay. Yes, Deputy Mayor Demarche.
You know, Mayor, we talked about this on night before, and council requested feedback from the public and. 18, as opposed to only 714, I just feel that, this has kind of been dismissive of their thoughts and feelings, so. I just want to think that we should be respecting the will of the people and I also want to request a recorded vote too, please.
Okay, yes, Councillor.
So, through the mayor to the CAO. So when I look at the bylaw as it's written, the second point, which is generally how this is supposed to work, doesn't seem to reflect what Councillor Palmetier and I had discussed the meeting that we were discussing this particular bylaw. And can you explain that to me, why it's not?
This bylaw pertains specifically to the election process of voting one for the mayor and 4 councillors. And then the specific information as to how the deputy mayor position will be appointed from the 4 councillors would be set up in our procedural bylaw. So that will be amended to set it up specifically with the, like if it's appointed 1 year each or how you want to do that, it can be more specific then.
And is that in like our procedural bylaw, so that's in place for the next council, which they can subject to change when they want, once they. are
That's
done?
correct.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Yes,
So the mayor, so will that procedural bylaw will have to come back before us again for amending as well, am I correct on that?
that's right.
That's correct.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Councilor.
Your worship, I agree with Deputy Mayor Lamarche that we're not really following the democratic process on this, in my opinion. I feel that we had, you know, there were, I think 18 people opposed and 5 or 7 people in favor, so the democratic process would show me that we should vote in favor of the electorate.
Thank you. Councilor.
So if I could just throw this up for consumption. And I appreciate everybody who expressed their opinion, be it for or against. As a council, we're charged with making balanced decisions based on the information before us, so looking broadly at what we think, after taking all of it into account, what would be or what would serve our community the best. And no dispute that there was 18 people that were against it and 5 or 7, I don't know what the number was, for. And I, like I said, I appreciate that, but we've had people come before us who were in opposition to. We had people here who were in opposition to the abattoir. And there was probably 6 or 8 people who were in opposition to that. And there was a few people that were for it. But as a council, we took that information, we consumed it, and we decided what we thought would be the best decision for us for the future of the community. That's what this is all about.
Yes.
Through the mayor, Councilor Hellcat, I think comparing this decision to that one is kind of short-sighted, and I'll tell you why. We had report after report, this went before planning and public, and they had public consultation process where there was no reason for us to say or go against what the reports were saying. In this process, there was no reports to say that this was a valid idea, but we did open up to the public and say, what do you think? Okay, so that is your report, and I think you have to listen when that report comes back. Like if that other report comes, if you get a report that says you have a problem with this severance or this whatever, then you've got to take a second look at it. But when you open the table to the public, ask them for their feedback, that is your report, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I don't know how the rest of you feel, but I think I think, like I said before, when we got strong feedback on what they thought, and not just here, but I mean, I don't get a lot of calls, but I got a lot of calls on that one. And the feedback was very clear to me.
Any other questions, comments? Yes, please go ahead.
So I'll just go back a little further in time. I'll go back to the COVID time when there was strong opposition brought forward to this council about putting certain processes in place. But as a council, you made a decision to follow public health guidance. But you had a significant amount of people who were totally opposed.
That again goes back to reports in front of you, Councilor Bellingcat. The public health said at the time that this was the way we had to get through it. And what you heard, what you heard in the public domain was very little to what we heard behind the scenes.
And I'll just finish with that. And although that's what you did. There were other councils across this province who decided not to follow public health. But you decided to, and you decided not to follow the will or the direction of a substantive amount of people who I'm sure made quite a few phone calls to people with that. I didn't get those phone calls, but I don't think that happened as well.
Yes, Councillor Flair.
Your worship, for every person that was opposed standing outside, I would say that I got. Um. 8 to 10 phone calls that were in favor. That was the hardest decision I ever had to make. I feared for the lives of the people in this community, in this province, in the whole country. And I hope to hell I won't ever have to do that again. It was a tough decision. I read so many things. Yay and nay, I got blasted. I got called everything but my given name over that. I got threatened by people. And at the end of the day, I voted in favor of trying to save people's lives.
Is it 3-2? 3-2 then, okay, thank you. Yes, Councillor Elliott.
So I was gonna finish last time. I'm not trying to make this about that. I'm just throwing that out as an example. I don't disagree with the decision we made at that particular point in time. I would have made the same decision. I'm just saying that ultimately there was a group of people who were very opposed to it. And probably people who, were very visible and vocal to council. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Good discussion. Thank you, everyone. So it's gonna, go ahead, Lori.
I would just like to remind council that the bylaw was brought forward due to a resolution of the whole council.
Right.
That this be presented and what you wanted to do moving forward. So, council is welcome to defer it until we have a full council here before they make their decision, or they can vote on it.
What is standard practice? Lori, like you said that you can go ahead and postpone it.
You can defer the matter until there's full council, or you can see how the vote's gonna go out today, and then the matter would have to fall how it lies that way, but the bylaw was brought forward on the resolution of council that this was their wish
Okay.
to have this bylaw prepared and presented at the meeting today.
Well, okay, it's before, let me just go back to the, so the motion is, and did you say you wanted a recorded vote?
Yes.
Okay. So the motion is to be resolved that bylaw number 2025-91 to change the composition of council for the municipality of Tweed be ready. Okay, first of all, should I ask for it to be deferred or then read it? Or like, we don't want to vote on it until we've actually seen if there's a desire to defer it, and then if not, then we read the motion.
With the opinions of council, if there is a vote, it may be defeated by a tie. And if we don't want that to take place, then you may defer the matter until there's full council present.
But you would still need
a vote.
You still need, it would still be like. Go ahead.
Council can make a resolution to defer. It may be defeated by a tie as well. We can vote on said bylaw at that point if that's what we get to, and if it's defeated by a tie as well. It's important for the entire body to recognize the resolution of council that was passed at the previous meeting. And well within the rules for this particular motion to be retabled with the full body of council based on the resolution that was provided at the last meeting.
Okay, yes.
So the mayor, just to add to that, I think in order to retable a motion in the secondary, you would need at least 80% of council to vote in favor of retabling.
We could explore what's in the procedural bylaw. I don't think there is a percentage that we have. I would remind council that there is a resolution and a clear decision of council. That's before the committee as we vote, or council, as we vote on this bylaw. And we need to take that into consideration as we review whether to defer or to continue on with a vote with this bylaw, as there's clear direction from the full body of council.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So I will table first a motion to defer it. And then we will vote on it, and it could be defeated. Then if it's defeated, then I could say table the motion as it is and we vote on it. And it could be defeated. And then, so we're saying regardless, because it's a motion of council that it,
And then after it's been defeated, we're finished for this evening and we can explore procedural mechanisms to review the bylaw coming back for reconsideration at another council meeting based on the clear resolution and direction of the whole body of council.
so. First motion on the table. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-91 be deferred to another council meeting when full council is available to vote on it. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that? Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. And a seconder. I always like everybody to second everything. Now, thank you very much, Councillor Fleeler. Okay. All in favor? Defeated, right? Okay, now, I'm gonna read the motion as it is. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2025-91 to change the composition of council for the municipality of Tweed be read a first, second, third, and final time passed, signed, and sealed in open council this 20th day of October 2025. I have a mover and a seconder on that. Oh, sorry, Lori. Oh, this is recorded vote.
That's a vote. Yeah, so Deputy Mayor Demarche requested a recorded vote. The resolution was just read, so I won't read it again. Call for vote, so I would ask Deputy Mayor Demarche, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Fleeler, how do you vote?
Against.
Councillor Valiquette, how do you vote?
For.
And Mayor DeGenova, how do you vote?
Four. So it's.
So the motion is defeated by a tie.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move on. Correspondence information. Could I have a mover and a seconder to table correspondence information, please? Thank you very much, Councillor Fleeler. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Is there anything there that anybody would like to raise? Bring forward. Seeing none, it was all that council. Be it resolved that corresponding information be received and filed. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, moving on to committee reports. Could I have moved and seconded to table the committee board minutes, please? Thank you, Deputy Mayor Demarche. Thank you, Councillor Valiquette. Is there anything in those minutes that anybody like to bring forward? Seeing none, be it resolved that council receive the committee board minutes as presented. All in favor? Thank you. We're going to be moving into closed meeting. Okay, I'll move it a seconder to move into close, please. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh. Thank you, Councillor Fleeler. Be it resolved that council move to close meeting at Lori.
7:09.
7:09. Thank you. All in favor? Sorry. You let me know when we're good. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. The notification of our closed meeting. Council held a closed meeting during the regular council meeting pursuant to section 2392 of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 C25 as amended to consider the following matters. B, personal matters or identify individual, including municipal or local board, employees handle committee spending, and labor relations or employee negotiations treasurer position. Okay, I'm moving a seconder to direct staff on the discussions of that meeting, please. Thank you, Councilor Fleur. Thank you, Councilor Valiquette. Any questions? No, there's no questions. Be it resolved that staff follow the council direction from the closed meeting. All in favor? Thank you. We have a mover and a seconder for the conformatory bylaw number 2025-92. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marsh. Thank you, Councilor Fleur. Be it resolved that conformatory bylaw number 2025-92 be ready first, second, third, and final time, pass, sign, and seal, and open council this 28th day of October 2025. All in favor? Thank you. And could I have a mover and a seconder to adjourn this evening's meeting, please? Thank you, Councilor Valiquette. Thank you, Councilor Fleur. Be it resolved that council adjourn at
7.